Why is your bank account always empty? Have you ever stared at your bank balance and felt like you're secretly subscribed to a service called Forever Broke? You work your tail off, you try to be smart with your money, but that six-figure savings goal feels as realistic as training squirrels to do your taxes. Here's the deal. Hitting your first $100,000 isn't some far-off dream reserved for tech gurus or people who got lucky on some weird meme stock. It's the point where your money finally starts working harder than you do. It's the launch pad. Once you cross that magical $100,000 line, everything changes. The slow, painful grind of saving penny by penny transforms. Suddenly, compound interest, that magical force you've heard about, becomes your supercharged best friend. The journey to your second $100,000 happens shockingly faster, and the one after that even quicker. This isn't just about a number. It's about hitting financial escape velocity. So, if you're ready to stop feeling stuck, you need to listen closely to what's coming next. Before we jump into the how-to, let's get real about the problem. Most people treat saving money like a New Year's resolution to go to the gym. They start with incredible enthusiasm, but after a few weeks, life gets in the way, motivation fizzles out, and they're right back where they started. The issue isn't a lack of willpower. It's that you're trying to win a fight with one hand tied behind your back, using the wrong strategy against a system designed to keep you spending. Think of it like trying to fill a bucket that's riddled with holes. You can pour in all the water you want, representing your hard-earned paycheck, but it just keeps leaking out. That's what's happening with your money. The truly wealthy get this. They know that building wealth isn't about miserable sacrifice. It's about making smart, strategic moves that multiply over time. They aren't using crayons to do math. Let me drop a truth bomb on you. The average person thinks saving is about skipping their morning latte or that fancy avocado toast. And look, every little bit helps, but that's like trying to bail out the Titanic with a teaspoon. The real progress, the kind that changes your life, comes from focusing on the big-ticket items and setting up automatic systems. I'm talking about strategies that can free up hundreds, even thousands of dollars every single month without you feeling like you're in a financial prison. Throughout our chat today, I'm going to lay out a complete blueprint to hit that first $100,000 milestone faster than you ever imagined. We'll dive into the psychological traps that keep people poor and the exact tactics the rich use to supercharge their savings. And yes, I'm going to reveal that one massive strategy I hinted at, a move so powerful, you'll wonder why it isn't the first piece of advice everyone gives. But don't skip ahead, because each piece of this puzzle builds on the last one. First, let's tackle why that initial $100,000 feels like climbing a mountain. It's because, in the beginning, it's all you. Every single dollar in that account comes from your sweat, your time, and your effort. You are single-handedly laying the foundation of your financial freedom, brick by painful brick. But once that foundation is built and you hit $100,000, your money starts to have babies. Seriously, those little dollars start earning their own dollars, and the whole process accelerates. Imagine you're earning a 10% return. On a $5,000 portfolio, that's $500 a year. Nice, but it won't change your life. On a $100,000 portfolio, that's an extra $10,000 a year that you didn't have to work for. Suddenly, your investment portfolio is like a silent business partner that's working around the clock. This is exactly why Warren Buffett's famous partner said the first $100,000 is the hardest. You have to get that snowball to the top of the hill yourself before gravity can take over. Let's start with strategy number 9, and it's a big one. Tax optimization. No, I don't mean shady offshore accounts. I'm talking about legal strategies the government literally created to help you save, but most people ignore them. Your taxes are likely one of your biggest monthly expenses. Yet you probably spend more time deciding what to watch on Netflix than on minimizing what you send to the government. It's like willingly paying a higher price on everything you buy, just for fun. Think about tax-advantaged accounts like a 401k or a traditional IRA. They give you an immediate discount on investing. When you contribute, you lower your taxable income. If you make $50,000 and put $10,000 into your 401k, you only pay taxes as if you earned $40,000. If you're in the 22% tax bracket, every $1,000 you contribute instantly saves you $220 in taxes. This means it only costs you $780 of your take-home pay to invest a full $1,000. It's a guaranteed return from day one. Strategy number 8 is so simple it's almost criminal to ignore: your employer's 401k match. If you're not taking full advantage of this, you are literally lighting free money on fire. You're telling your boss, "No thanks, I don't want that raise." If your company offers to match 50% of your contributions up to 6% of your salary, that's an immediate guaranteed 50% return on your investment. Find me another investment that guarantees that. You can't. It doesn't exist anywhere else. Let's break that down. You earn $50,000 a year. You contribute 6%, which is $3,000. Your employer, just for you doing that, puts in an extra $1,500 of their money into your account. That's $1,500 of pure profit. People will drive across town to save 10 cents on gas, but will leave thousands of dollars in free employer matching money on the table. It makes absolutely no sense. Prioritize this above almost everything else. It's the fastest, easiest money you will ever make. Now for strategy number 7. Create new income streams specifically for investing. Notice I didn't say work more hours. A more powerful approach is to expand your means while keeping your lifestyle the same. Instead of squeezing pennies from your main paycheck, generate extra cash on the side freelancing, a small online business, anything, and earmark 100% of that new money for your investments. It's a total game changer. This approach feels like abundance, not deprivation. Your main paycheck covers your life, so this extra income doesn't feel like a sacrifice to save. It feels like bonus money that has one job: to build your future wealth. You could be generating an extra few hundred or even thousands of dollars a month dedicated solely to fast-tracking your way to that first $100,000. Strategy number 6 will test your discipline, but it's critical for maximizing growth. You must reinvest every single dividend you ever receive. I know it's tempting to see that cash hit your account and think of it as a little bonus to spend. But the true magic of dividends isn't the cash you get today. It's the compounding power you unleash by turning that cash back into more shares. More shares mean more dividends next time, which you use to buy even more shares. It's a wealth-building feedback loop. Here's a stat that should blow your mind. Over the last century, the S&P 500 returned about 10.7% annually if you reinvested the dividends. If you took those dividends as cash, your return would have been just 6.6%. That 4% difference is the gap between a comfortable retirement and having to work forever. Every time a dividend payment comes in, you have a choice: a fleeting purchase today or another brick in the foundation of your financial freedom for decades to come. Okay, strategy number 5 is about plugging one of the biggest leaks in your investment bucket: fees. This might sound boring, but it's one of the most impactful things you can control. Investment fees are a silent parasite, slowly eating away at your returns over time. They compound just like your earnings do, but they compound against you. A fund charging a 1% annual fee might not sound much different from one charging 0.1%, but over 30 years, that tiny difference can cost you a fortune. The good news is, in today's world, there's absolutely no reason to pay high fees for quality investments. Low-cost index funds that track the S&P 500 are available from multiple companies, and they are essentially identical products. Paying more for a higher fee version is like choosing to pay $35,000 for the exact same car that another dealer is selling for $30,000. It's just throwing money away. Every dollar you save in fees is another dollar that stays in your pocket, working and growing for you. Strategy number 4 challenges a huge myth. You have to resist the urge to be a clever investor who buys and sells all the time. The financial news makes it seem like successful investing is about timing the market, getting out before a crash, and getting in before a boom. That is complete and utter nonsense. Trying to time the market is a guaranteed way to underperform. The data is crystal clear. Investors who jump in and out of the market consistently do worse than those who just buy and hold. Think about it. The market drops, you panic and sell. You feel smart for a minute. Then it skyrockets back up, but you're sitting on the sidelines in cash, too scared to get back in. You end up missing the best recovery days. Missing just the 10 best days in the market over a 30-year period can cut your total returns in half. And guess what? Those best days often happen immediately after the worst days. Your job is simple. Invest consistently and leave it alone. Let time do the heavy lifting. Now for strategy number 3, choosing the right investments. This is where people get paralyzed by too many choices or just follow bad advice. Forget trying to find the next big stock. That's gambling. Your goal isn't to get rich quick. It's to get rich for sure. For most people building their first $100,000, the answer is stunningly simple. Invest in a broad market, low-cost index fund, like one that tracks the S&P 500. This single investment gives you a slice of 500 of America's largest companies. When you buy an S&P 500 index fund, you instantly own a piece of Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and hundreds of other powerhouse businesses. You don't need to be a financial genius. You're simply betting on the long-term success of the American economy, which has been a winning bet for over a century. You just buy and hold, letting the titans of industry do what they do best: create value. This is the simplest and most effective way for the average person to build serious long-term wealth. Strategy number 2 is arguably the most important habit on this entire list. This is the one that separates the wealthy from everyone else. I'm talking about viciously avoiding lifestyle inflation. This is the silent trap that keeps high earners living paycheck to paycheck. It works like this. You get a raise from $50,000 to $60,000. Instead of investing that extra $10,000, you get a more expensive apartment or a fancier car. Soon you're earning double what you used to, but you're just as broke. The wealthy understand that your lifestyle shouldn't automatically rise with your income. Every time you get a raise, make a conscious choice. The rule is simple. Automatically invest at least half of every single pay increase. Don't even let the money hit your checking account. Divert it straight to your investment account. You can still enjoy a portion of your raise, but your primary goal is to widen the gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap is where your freedom is built. And here it is, strategy number 1. The one I've been building up to. The single biggest lever you can pull to free up massive amounts of cash for investing. The one that most people consider non-negotiable, but is secretly the most flexible part of their budget. I'm talking about optimizing your housing costs. Here's the hard truth. If you are spending much more than 30% of your take-home pay on housing, you are playing the wealth-building game on the hardest possible difficulty setting. For most Americans, housing is their number one expense, often eating up 40% or even 50% of their income. But what if you could slash that? This might mean getting a roommate for a few years, moving to a slightly less trendy neighborhood, or even house hacking, buying a duplex, living in one side and renting out the other. Imagine you're spending $2,000 a month on rent, and find a way to cut that to $1,200. That's an extra $800 a month, almost $10,000 a year, to pour into your investments. I know that sounds drastic, but think of it as a short-term, strategic sacrifice for a lifetime of freedom. That one move reducing your housing cost by $800 a month could add over $500,000 to your net worth over 20 years. Maybe you can't cut your costs that much, but could you cut them by 20%? The point is to challenge the assumption that your biggest expense has to be that big. Once you have a strong financial base, you can afford to live wherever you want. When you combine all of these strategies, they create a powerful, self-reinforcing system. Tax optimization and employer matching give you more money to invest. New income streams provide the fuel. Reinvesting dividends and keeping fees low maximizes your growth. Avoiding market timing protects you from costly errors. And optimizing your big expenses, like housing, frees up the most cash to make it all happen faster. This turns reaching your first $100,000 from a dream into a predictable outcome. Remember, that first $100,000 is where the real magic begins. It's the tipping point. It's when your money starts generating a meaningful income of its own, and the burden is no longer entirely on you. The path to financial security isn't some grand secret. It's about building smart systems and being consistent. Your future self is depending on the choices you make right now. The question is, what kind of future are you going to start building for them today?